And hello, we should be live on Twitch with Uncanny Adventures Skull and Shackles. Currently we have our paladin pirate Holt and our sorcerer Miri along. We're hoping for our ship's cook's assistant to be along anytime. So when Dylan pops in. Yes, dear Bart. But until then, we're going to get going, and then we will fix the boxes when Dylan does show up. So welcome back. And last time on our game, everyone got to experience the fun of a storm at sea. I think it was a pretty good time. Not too bad. Nobody lost their life thanks to the fast work of some of our crew members here. And it seems that the ship made it through fairly well. Not too much trouble. No huge damages to speak of, as the weather is settling down and turns in from a storm into more of a spitting rain. The winds lessen and things calm down a bit. So we're going to say hello to our current players, and we're going to jump into some more ship activity for the day and see what else happens as the ship is sailing south along the slithering coast. And so we'll say hello to Brad first.
Howdy, everybody. I'm playing Miri Watersong, and I'm looking forward to having some more shenanigans today.
Miri's going to have to hold up his end of the bargain with the shenanigans, as Antoinette is under the weather today, maybe staying in her hammock. And we also have PaladinHulk.
Hi, everybody. I'm PaladinHulk. I'm a Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday and Little Red Dot, and I will be playing Holt, the Pirate Paladin, which is an amazing combination that everyone should try. I've survived the storm, if just barely, and we're ready to get on with more hard work and making friends and making sure no funny business happens. Everything will be all right.
No funny business.
No funny business at all. No jokes, nothing.
Oh, we're very
serious all the time.
Very serious, very serious. Also, I'm using some Syrinscape sounds in the background. Let me know if they get too loud or anything like that in chat. And if you would like to help or hinder our players, you can also donate. The instructions for donations are down in the note sections below us. And so we just know, Holt, you've got a natural 20 and an advantage. Miri has a natural 20 and a healing potion. And I've got some natural 20s and a couple of natural 1s, No worries on those natural 1s, though. Right? But yes, so last time it rained quite a bit. The winds picked up, lightning, thunder, and the ship sailed into some dangerous waters as we traversed the storm. But now the weather is quickly improving, and the morning comes, and the ship's bell sounds from up above, letting everyone know that it is time to climb out of their hammocks and make their way up to the deck for another day. As you both wake up, maybe feeling a little more sore today than previous days from the extensive work and the overnight shift you had to endure.
So each of us still has a level of exhaustion.
You do indeed. So, you see the rest of the crew quickly, as usual in the morning, collecting up their hammocks, tossing them off to the side by their lockers, and making their way up to the deck to get their morning's ship's biscuits from Fish Guts.
How's the rest of the crew looking? Because we're exhausted. Are they?
There are quite a few of your crewmates that do appear to be a little worse for wear. I mean, you can see Jack. Jack took a bit of a beating as he was tossed off the ship into the ocean for a bit of a swim. Thank you very much, Brad. And you can also see some of the others, like the burly dwarf there. He helped you to pull Jack and the rest in. Narwhal is kind of like nursing a little bit, maybe a sore shoulder from the extra effort, because he also was helping at the ship's wheel when the captain needed him to. Though the captain took over for the most part during the more treacherous parts of the storm. But yeah, a few people look okay, but everyone has a little bit of that edge of hard work and not enough rest going on at this point.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's fair.
So, what do you both want to do this morning as you hear the ship's bell sounding up above?
I'm not happy to hear the ship's bell. I just want to have 3 more hours of sleep. So I'm grumpy. I put away my stuff and I slowly walk up to the deck is this really necessary?
I'm really tired. I'm gonna fold up my hammock there and kind of toss up my footlocker and just kind of sit down on my footlocker until pretty much everybody else has left the deck, and then I will race up behind them so it doesn't look like I'm late.
All right. As you race up, you kind of just get up and around the corner as you can see Fish Guts kind of wobbling his way across the mid-deck, carrying the morning's rations with him, as he generally does first thing. Cutthroat is kind of helping him carry some of the bowls and things with her too, as they make their way up to the deck.
I see. If there's anyone who would be in charge of some repair work on the ship, and I asked them, how's your ship doing after that storm?
All right, so you seek out the Stitchman, who is both the ship's doctor and carpenter.
I was hoping for more like an assistant of him who just got shoved into helping out.
Oh, well, if you want to find an assistant, you can actually pick out any of the swabs. Generally, the swabs are assigned tasks to help. So if you wanted to ask someone like Badger, who is the
yeah, she's the one whose hand I fixed, right?
Yes,
yeah. So
the half elf with the gray hair. So she looks over when you ask, and she says, I don't think things are too bad off. There's some repairs to do, but as far as the Stitchman says, it looks like we came through pretty good. It's nothing that can't be taken care of in a day or two with good seas.
Right, that's good. That's a relief.
Yeah, we were lucky. There was, some tearing in the sails and stuff like that in a couple of places, but nothing detrimental to it either. So everybody did a good job.
Yeah. Did you see how when went into the water to fish out Jack Scrimshaw? That was something else.
It was really good. I was a bit concerned with the initial leap into the water. I thought she might hurt herself. She kind of didn't do it very gracefully, but other than that, it was a very good rescue. And that Miri fellow went jumping in too. I mean, they're all pretty crazy if you ask me, because if you get swept away from the boat,
they certainly are. But they seem they're good people.
They seem more inclined to the whole swimming aspect of it. I mean, I like to swim, but they seem much better at the swimming aspect of things than
well, they
myself.
are like the water races.
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
I mean, so if anybody was gonna jump in, I mean, nobody should have, but if they were gonna, I guess, they were the best choice.
I wasn't gonna jump in. That's dangerous.
No, I mean, I would have thrown Jack a rope and hoped for the best. If that would have been my choice.
Yeah, same.
I mean, sometimes that's all you can do. People got to save themselves.
Yeah, you jump in after someone, and that's just 2 people who are in danger.
Exactly. And what if you didn't float the same way? Now you got to go after 2 different people in 2 different places.
No, I'm not a confident swimmer.
Mm-mm.
There was no real reason to learn how to swim in the sea. So that's where I live. I didn't have a creek to practice in.
Oh, well, you better practice now, though. If you're out on a ship, swimming's really important.
I can swim. I can stay afloat, but I'm not going to win any races or be able to dive for pearls or something.
Well, staying afloat's the most important, because if you sink, I mean, that's when you're done for.
Yeah.
It's when you sink. But other than that, I mean...
I wonder if there's anyone on this boat who actually can't swim. That'd be something.
She kind of looks around. I don't know. I mean, because, that's how you came aboard. They do sort of just, pick up people when they need to fill some spots that are empty on the crew. So,
Right.
I mean, it's possible that there could be someone here who doesn't know how to swim. That could be bad for them if they ever get tossed overboard like Jack did in the storm.
I should make it a point to ask someone about their basic skills before they abduct them. Like, can you swim? You know how to work a rope? Yeah? All right, good, let's go. Otherwise I'll be, excuse me for the hassle, you go about your day.
I completely agree with that, though I do feel like the problem is that they don't so much care what you know how to do. They're just going to decide that, hey, you're going to do this.
It feels like you should train people more then. Like, if you don't know how good they are at stuff, you should invest in them and teach them things.
It would be a good idea. It's better than just the sink or swim. Haha, sink or swim.
That's a good one. I like that.
But I kind of think they don't. I don't know. They don't seem like they're so much worried about the timetable of training someone. Maybe they just figure if Jack drowned, they just get somebody else. They'll probably try to find somebody to take Slippery Sill's place the next time we get a chance.
Yeah, I'm wondering if do we get shore leave when that happens?
Oh yeah,
weird.
like when we get to another port, once you've been a active member of the crew and you've spent some time with the crew, like we'll get to shore and we'll get to go to the tavern and get some drinks and maybe do some shopping. I mean, it's as long as they don't think you're gonna get into any trouble or, I mean, some people don't come back. Some people, they go to shore. You figure some of them, maybe they piss the wrong person off. They get stabbed in the back. Others, maybe they meet the love of their life. They never show back up. Others, they just didn't really like being on the ship to begin with, and so they just decide to just vacate the premises.
Yeah, and Holt's face drops when she mentions love of the life, because his own. Well, that was a thing. So
she
falls silent.
She kind of keeps talking, almost like she doesn't notice exactly when, but when you're quiet, she's like, don't worry. You've taken pretty good, I think. There's a few bad eggs that seem to be giving trouble, and especially all you new folks trouble, but, this is a good ship to be on for the most part if you can get past them.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so.
It's not what I imagined it would be. But it's all right.
It's
all right.
I think it'll get better now that we're almost out to the trade lanes. I think a couple days, and we'll be maybe we'll find a couple ships to raid, and
that'd be good to get everyone some gold. To see that there's a purpose to all this.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's this lull, and then action, like the storm, action, and then there's the lull of the day-to-day, hey, action. So it's, you have to learn to kind of go with the flow of it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like the tides.
You're right. Well, here's for another day of hard work. You have a good one.
All right, you too. And she wanders off to join Miri and the other swabs as breakfast is served. Fishguts kind of wandering about, handing out the rations to everyone as he goes.
So
go ahead.
As I get my rations together, I sidle up to Jack Scrimshaw and say, thank you, Jack, for the help with the ropes yesterday.
You're very welcome. Thanks for jumping into the water and making sure that I didn't die or anything.
Well, of course not. You're a part of the crew. I wouldn't want you to die.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
Yeah, my legs are a little sore from treading water and from the initial. I think I hit on my back when I went in, because I wasn't expecting to fall, and so it's a little stiff today, but otherwise, I'm doing all right. I'll probably be okay in a day or two. Just gotta take it easy on it a little bit, I think.
Well, you do that. Take it easy. Don't overdo it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess anything's better. I could have been shark food, right?
Or worse.
Oh, worse? What's worse than shark food?
You could have been pulled to the bottom by, an octopus or something.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
I'd rather be eaten than to have that happen.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That might have been worse. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Drowning's pretty bad, but sharks have really sharp teeth, right?
Yeah, but with a shark, it'd be over quick, Jack.
But, I don't know. What if they just get, like, a limb and you're not dead yet or something?
Well, the good news is we don't have to worry about it, Jack. We're happy and we're safe and we're on the ship and we're ready for another day's work. If we decide to actually work.
Oh yeah, I think I'll probably try not to take a nap today. The day before yesterday, I kind of took it a little easy, but I don't want to get caught. I think Master Scourge was maybe a little upset that I fell into the water and caused a lot of drama when I did. Like, it took a lot of attention off actual people doing their work. And he frowns on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about Master Scourge.
Oh, but I do. He's not, he's really got a bad temperament. Miri, like, he just, I don't know, nothing seems to make that man happy.
Well, with this curse on the captain and his officers, they can't be lasting much longer.
Yeah, that, can I be honest? I'm a little afraid that, it's out to get me.
No, it's not out to get you. You're a good guy. You're not like the officers.
Oh, well, I don't know. I feel like ever since she passed away, and I feel like my luck's been just horrible. I literally almost died yesterday.
That's because the officers weren't doing their jobs.
Okay.
It's their fault, not yours.
So should I just try to stay away from them for the most part and hope that the bad luck stays with them?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. And Master Scourge is walking over, he says it, and Jack kind of moves behind you to put distance between him and Master Scourge.
And I turn and look at Master Scourge and hold up my rum and I say, "Cheers, Master Scourge."
He side-eye glances at you. And then I need both Holt and Miri to roll for their daily task, as Scourge seems to be unimpressed with being toasted to and is going to assign you your daily task.
Does he turn away from me?
No, he's still, looking in your direction because most everybody is kind of aligned near where you're standing.
Okay.
So that's a D6 that we should roll, right?
Miri.
Bam.
So he keeps his eyes on you, Miri, and he says, "You seem like you're in good spirits."
I'm tired.
Well, we'll wake you up. How about I'm going to send you below decks to do another vermin search. That storm probably shook out whatever's been left down below, so you can go and look for any more rats or other small creatures that may be hiding about. Cockroaches, beetles.
That sounds like a perfect task for me. Can I take Jack with me?
He looks at Jack. Roll a persuasion check.
And of course, this is a disadvantage. But still.
He side-eyes Jack and looks back at you, kind of questioning look on his face, but he just nods his head and says, "Fine, take him down below. It's probably safer so he won't fall overboard again, right?"
Indeed.
Probably the best place for him is somewhere where we can't lose him over into the ocean. And Jack just kind of hangs his head a little bit. Didn't mean to fall in. I slipped when I was up on the rigging, sir.
It's an all-important job. Or else you wouldn't have us do it, right, Master Scourge?
Yes, exactly. Well, you don't want the rats to eat your breakfast, do you?
Well, maybe yours.
What?
I'll just laugh.
He just glares at Miri, like daggers glaring out. Meanwhile, standing a little ways away, Holt, you see Mr. Plug kind of strolls forward. He looks a little tired this morning, little, dark circles under his eyes. Apparently, he might have been on the overnight shift after the storm, too. But he kind of strolls amongst all of the riggers, kind of walking back and forth. And he looks at you, Holt, and he says, "Gonna put you back up in the crow's nest today as a lookout. You did a pretty good job helping Conchabar when the storm was raging."
Aren't you, sir? You didn't do so by yourself. You were working hard. So.
It's my job as first mate. Make
you
sure
do
that
it well.
he kind of gives you a side look and just a nod. And then he walks around assigning other tasks to the rest of them. A couple of them up in the mainsails. A couple of them to go up and fix some of the masts that were torn a bit in the wind and rain. And then he and Master Scourge stroll back toward the rear of the ship and to where the captain is once again at the back, standing below the parrot, who is squawking down at Narwhal, who's at the ship's wheel. "What? I think this one's dead in here. What? I think this one's dead." And the skeleton, though it looks like it may have lost some pieces during the storm, but the skeleton is still in the cage above the ship's wheel for the most part. A little more worse for wear. And you see
Weird mascot.
and you also see Cutthroat is kind of snuck over to where the sweatbox is and is slipping pieces of biscuit through the slits and then pouring some water through the slits into it and talking quietly into the sweatbox where Martin's has been. So she is checking in on him.
At least he didn't have to work.
He did not. He probably got the most rest out of anybody on the crew. So everyone starts to disperse for their various tasks. Antoinette is assigned to help with some of the repairs on the main deck. So she's kind of assisting the Stitchman at this moment. And what are you going to do? So you all know when you're on your daily tasks, let's see. You have some options. You can spend your day working diligently at your task. You can take some time to mingle with those working nearby if you want to. You can sneak off and go exploring. You could take some time and go try to shop in the quartermaster store. Or we can do shirking our duties and not doing our task and go do whatever we want.
So as I go downstairs, I will make sure that Master Scourge's back is to me, and I will, of course, cast Shape Water and form ice underneath his feet once again.
All right. Let's see. So at some point as you go away, since Master Scourge is walking away with Mr. Plug, he does have his back to you. Let's see. So as you cast that under his feet, what is your spell DC?
12.
All right. So let's see. He's going to make a dexterity saving throw as the deck beneath his feet suddenly ices over. But he slides and grabs onto the rail and curses looking down at the deck, and his head whips around, and the beading that he has in his beard kind of whips around with it, and the beading in his hair, and he looks around in anger because this ice has appeared out of nowhere again. And he yells across the deck, "All right, who's responsible for doing this?"
And I will dismiss the spell almost immediately.
And he points at the deck, and Mr. Plug, who was a handful of steps ahead of him, turns around as the ice is not there. And he looks at Scourge and says, "Responsible for what?" And Scourge points at the deck. "It keeps turning to ice. Every other day, there's an icy spot somewhere where I end up falling on my rear end." And Master Plug boots to the deck, kind of scuffs his boot, and he looks at him and he's like, It's damp. It's not wet." He's like, "I know, someone's up to something." And you see him looking around again. He's clenching those teeth of his, those golden teeth, and looking around. It's like, and multiple people are just like looking the other way and not making eye contact. And then Bart shows up on deck. So I'm going to take a minute and fix the windows because we have a Bart.
It's occupying my window now.
I know. He just popped in and visited.
I'm Holt.
You are Holt. Hello, Holt. All right. So we will.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Dylan.
Glad to see you. How was your day?
Sweaty, but that's,
Well, I mean,
pretty
There's
good.
worse adjectives.
There are worse adjectives. True.
this is very true. So we have a Holt. Yay!
All right.
Bart comes running up on deck from having been away. And then, let's see. There he is. Now he's sharing a window with me.
Oh.
Well, hi, Dylan. How are you?
Co-DMing.
Well, I mean, I hear you're a very talented DM, so I would not be against it.
I try.
That's something we've been trying for, is to get Dylan to DM a live stream so everyone can see, because apparently he is quite a creative DM, from what I hear.
I've been trying to do more GMing as well.
It's good times.
But if you ever GM, Dylan, I'll definitely sign up to be a player.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Keep it
See,
in mind.
Dylan, we got a thing. We're gonna get a thing going. You're gonna be big hit.
One of these days.
Yeah. I'm just glad Bart came to visit. We all miss Bart.
Yeah, sorry I missed last time.
No worries.
It's all good.
Always.
Life finds a way to get in the way.
It's true. It really is true. Now, just be careful. Do not fall out of your chair today, Dylan. He actually did yesterday.
Listen.
I mean, I know I aged 40 years in just a very short span of time, but, we don't want you to get hurt falling out of your chair, sir.
Yeah, I don't want to get hurt either. It's probably good.
It was worth
Probably
it,
good.
though.
It was. It was hilarious.
The bulletin board behind Dylan did not survive the fall. He had to put it back. So, good times, though. All right, so as Miri makes his way downstairs with Jack, Bart comes running up on deck. Running behind schedule this morning. Bart maybe overslept after the storm.
Yeah.
He's not used to having to be up in the rigging with the rest of the crew.
No.
So it was a whole new experience for him.
I just catch fish and cook.
Attempt to catch turtles, but that doesn't always work.
No,
Maybe next time.
it doesn't.
Hey, but let's see. So I will have Bart, dear Bart, roll me a d6 to see what is he doing this day after the storm.
I will roll in real life until I get on roll 20 here.
Fair enough.
I got a 6.
A 6.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, apparently, Fish Guts tells you that Captain Harrigan has decided to celebrate today, having gotten the ship through the storm so successfully. So you and he have to prepare another one of those amazing meals that you prepare for the captain. So you have to help him. And it looks to you like Fish Guts is in good spirits today and not drunk. So maybe all of the activity for the storm kept him from drinking too much yesterday.
Thank the Lord.
I know. Sometimes it's good. So, but
is that good?
I mean,
Do we
well,
want him sober?
A good point. I don't know how he works best.
it's hard to say. I mean, we'll find out, I
don't know
guess.
what we want to get up to. So.
But meanwhile, so as Bart is gone down below with Fish Guts to start preparing this special meal for this occasion of surviving a storm at sea, Miri, you were heading down with Jack to hunt for rats down below. So, Jack looks at you and he's like, "Oh, you did this before, right? Like you've actually like had to. I got bitten by a rat a couple days like last week in the bilges. It was a big sucker."
Not a problem. It's not a hard job, and we will take our time and relax while we're doing it.
I mean, all right, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Just take it easy. I mean, because we're probably not going to catch them all anyway, right?
Nah. So, want you to head over and go talk to Bart and the other cooks and see if you can get some old moldy bread. Why don't you do that, Jack?
Oh, yeah, I can, yeah, sure. So, Bart, you get into the kitchen and are just starting to kind of pull pots and things out, and Fish Guts is sort of pulling out ingredients, and Jack kind of comes stumbling through the door of the galley. And he kind of sticks his head around the corner, and he's like, good morning.
Yes. Good morning. How can I help you?
Miri and I are supposed to be catching rats and other varmints out here today, and cleaning out these decks. I'm supposed to find some kind of moldy bread or something, I think, for bait. Yeah, bait.
Got it.
Yeah.
Can I look around for, like, leftover biscuits or little crumbles that we got laying
Sure,
around?
you can make a perception check if you want to look around.
That is... Go to the right window. Perception check.
Nice. So you kind of look around, and you do find Fish Guts' stash of older, moldier biscuits and things, stuff that he like breaks up and feeds to the pigs and stuff like that.
I was like, why does he keep these?
The goats like it.
Well, yeah.
Which the 3 goats are currently occupying the kitchen with you.
Oh.
Running around, getting into stuff. You hear clattering pans behind you as one of the goats sort of stumbles through a corner of pans.
Gotta pick those up. Okay, I'll get the biscuits and I'll take them over to Jack and I'll put them in a bag or something,
Oh, thanks very much, Bart, right?
Yes!
Yeah.
Bartholomew Ignatius Seacaster at your service. You're Jack Scrimshaw, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's my name. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Did you catch my theatrics yesterday?
Oh, no, I must miss them.
I fell in the ocean.
Oh, well, it happens to the best of us, my friend. And I put my hand on his, his shoulder, all webbed and, like, long nails.
You'd probably be more suited to falling in than me, though.
Probably. Mm-hmm. I have been known to hold my breath quite a while.
How long can you hold your breath?
Oh, at last count, hour and a half, somewhere around there.
What? How do you hold your breath so long?
Well, you go...
Uh-huh.
You just take a big lungful of air,
Okay.
No problem at all.
I think I can do that for like maybe a minute or 2.
Oh, you gotta train, Brace yourself.
Okay. All right, I've got to get back and bring these to Miri. I'll work on that.
Of course. If you catch any rats, good luck.
Okay. He turns with his bag full of moldy bread, and you see him go... and he walks out holding his breath. So when he comes back out and is walking across towards you, Miri, you see his cheeks kind of bulged out a little bit, And he's like turning colored a little. And he's like, okay, that was like a minute. I gotta do better. I got the moldy bread.
All right, sounds good. So, what I need you to do here, Jack, is while he was gone, I pulled out my hammock and spread it out in the middle and set it up as a trap again.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell Jack, okay, you see this trap here. A, you avoid it.
Uh-huh.
And B, I need you to start putting little pieces of bread all around the outside of the hall and up the stairs to the captain's cabin and to his door.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. So he starts breaking up the bread, and you see him again go and hold his breath for some reason and start breaking up the bread and trying to distribute it. And after maybe a minute and a half, you hear, nope, that's
Why are you holding your breath,
What?
Jack?
I'm practicing.
For what?
I want to learn how to do it for more than a minute or two. I'm trying to, like, Bart says he can do it for an hour.
Well, Bart is like a fish creature.
It's a hooligan.
He's a shark type guy. Of course he
It's a
can do that.
hooligan.
I can too. I can breathe underwater.
What? Oh, well, I mean, okay, but I could get better at it at least, right? Like, I mean, I can't learn how to breathe underwater, but
Don't make yourself pass out.
yeah, okay. Sure. And he keeps walking away, and you see him, like, look over, still kind of trying to get there, though he's only good for about a minute or two before he, damn, did it again. Maybe if I stand perfectly still. So, while you all are doing that, meanwhile, up on deck, so Holt, you are given the duty of lookout today. So you get to climb on up into the crow's nest and keep a lookout. Let's see. So
But before we go into that, I have
Yes.
one more little question.
Sure.
While Miri was doing the ice thing,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Scourge,
Mm-hmm.
where was the gang of thugs during that? Because they know he's the one who's been doing that.
Yeah, they were kind of spread out. Like, Narwhal's up at the ship's wheel, and the others had been sort of like amongst the swabs and the riggers getting their assignments and starting to spread out for the day. So they were not all kind of together. Some were climbing up into the rigging, some were starting to pull ropes from the pile of ropes by the back of the deck. And so they probably looked up and noticed, but at the point they looked up, Miri had dissipated the ice.
Right, but they heard Mr. Scourge complaining about ice appearing out of nowhere, and they know that Miri's the one doing that.
They do. There's not a big reaction to it that you notice. I mean, they pay attention, obviously, when Master Scourge starts kind of barking about it, and they were more, like, most of the people looked away. They're more willing to make eye contact. Like, you can tell they're not afraid to be caught doing something, but otherwise they didn't speak up or say anything about it at the time.
I don't even know. Did Holt ever figure out that phenomenon was Miri? I'm not sure.
I don't know if Holtz ever actually caught Miri in the act of doing it. You probably, I mean, at some point have seen either Miri or Antoinette pull some shenanigan magic-wise, but maybe not specifically that trick. Though you do know both of them have the capability of doing some kinds of magic.
Well, I'm busy anyway, so I'll stay out of it, but I'm keeping an eye out. Just on, that's because I need, in this whole how am I working today, I need like a step between just completely doing fuck all and giving it everything I've got. I need like a halfway point. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. So yours would be more of a you'd be working diligently, but you're just kind of giving it the basic effort. Like, you're not. Yeah. So you're paying attention to what you're doing.
I'm tired. I think being a lookout is dull. So I take like a few moments to spy on the ship.
So roll me an athletics check just for the whole like getting up and into the rigging portion.
A 7 because tired.
Yep. So you struggle getting up into the crow's nest first thing, like getting up there. It takes you a little bit of time. You actually maybe even have to stop a couple times and kind of just take a break, and then make your way all the way up.
Maybe fatigue has given me like a sort of seasickness, like the very beginning where my stomach's unsettled and I just need a moment to get used to it.
And then while you're up there, why don't you make me a perception check?
Time to not see all the boats.
Mm.
Yep, a 9.
Yeah, so looking out with your spyglass and looking about, you don't see any other ships like on the horizon or anything like that. I mean, you can see distantly that there is the coastline off into your left as you look out. That's the slithering coast. You know that you're sailing probably somewhat southwest, heading toward the open water of the Fever Sea. You can see off into the right, there is another large island mass that kind of is a distance away. You also maybe notice that where you're sailing through, it seems like you're in a little more shallow waters here than you've been in a little bit. You can kind of tell. And it seems like Narwhal is having to carefully sort of steer the ship to avoid any kind of like sandbars and things like that. As you're cutting through
the rocks, like from where he is. He's at the back of the ship, right?
He is, and it is kind of your sort of responsibility to sort of help him along the way.
All right. As soon as I notice that that's part of my job, I'll start actually working diligently because that's important.
And you do manage to yell down a handful of times, and avoid.
There's a rock. There's another rock.
Yeah.
There's another rock, and it's bigger.
Yeah.
2 rocks.
There's maybe 1 or 2 near misses, but you manage to direct Narwhal carefully through this area. Though it seems like the ship speed has to kind of be taken back just a little bit. They kind of pull in some of the sails during the day to slow things down and sort of let the current kind of guide it, just to avoid any real danger here. But otherwise, I mean, you do a pretty good job. You don't get into any trouble. So you, even in your tired state, you manage to do all right with this as the day goes on. And meanwhile, let's see. So Bart, you're cooking with your good buddy, good old Fish Guts. Let's see, shapes. So, once again, Fish Guts looks at you and says, "Looks like we're gonna have to take care of another pig."
All right, I can do that.
You're getting good at this, right?
Yes, I'm a friend to animals everywhere.
Not very friendly once you kill it, cut it, clean it, you know the drill.
No, but, I mean, you can make the last few minutes on this earth peaceful.
Fair enough.
And then we eat them because they're delicious.
So, you have to go out into the middeck, and you see Jack making his way up the stairs, putting crumbs up the stairs going to the door of the captain's cabin.
I look curiously. All right.
You see Miri kind of about halfway back down the middeck.
I'm like, oh.
Hammock laid out, food, crumbs, and things all in the hammock.
Okay. I understand completely once I see Miri.
All the little pigs are actually in their cages. It looks like someone took the time to put them in their cages overnight.
Oh my god. All right. Then I'll go to one of the cages. Whichever pig is closest and looks, plump or whatever. I'm gonna cast Animal Friendship on it. And just bring it out. Give it a little pat.
Does he get a saving throw for Animal Friendship?
A good question. I don't know. No. Well, okay. Wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
Wisdom saving throw from the pig.
Come on, pig.
Let's see. What's a pig's wisdom?
Pig's wisdom?
That's a better question. A pig's wisdom. It's -1.
Wow, it's as good as Kuriami's.
Yeah, wow, okay.
I have the wisdom of a pig. Okay. Well,
that pig is definitely your friend.
Sure is.
It squeals happily as you let it out of the cage.
Let's go, Mr. Oinkas.
It looks a little distracted by the food crumbs and things. It tries to scurry over and eat some of the crumbs that Jack has laid out, squealing happily. Like this is some fun game that you have presented him with.
Oh no. Would I think that they have enough crumbs that if a few went missing, it wouldn't be that big a deal?
Well, Miri can see you with the pig running toward the crumbs, so Miri would be better aware of how many crumbs he needs for this to be a workable trap. So, Miri, you do see Bart with the little pig squealing, running toward your crumb trail.
I don't know if you want to let me.
I'm going
to final moments.
Get up from where I was relaxing and start chasing the pig away back towards Dylan. I don't want my trap messed up because I want to actually catch these rats so that I can show them to Master Scourge so it doesn't look like I was dilly-dallying.
So when the pig runs back, I'll grab it,
It looks back at Miri. This little sad, bleeding, weeding piglet is angry.
There, my friend. There.
It nuzzles its little snout against your scales. Snuggle, snuggle, snuggle. Jack is looking around the corner of the stairs. Like, what the hell's going on?
Worry about it.
Okay.
I'll carry the pig, happy as can be, to the kitchen, and then do the deed.
You're actually gonna kill your best friend, the pig?
Well, listen. Listen. Bart has no sentimentality for food.
But we're all food. To you, you're a Sahuagin.
Don't worry about it. It's better not to think about.
Don't go there. Don't go there. So, you make your way back. Fish Guts has cleared a spot on the table and left out his nicest blades for you to clean this pig with. He says, well, that would, they never come that easy for me. I usually have to chase after them for about 40 minutes until I catch one if I let it out of the cage.
I just have one of those faces,
He cocks an eyebrow at you and says, yes, I can see it. It's the teeth, right, son? It's the teeth.
They love them,
Apparently. Well, all right, well, get to it then.
Okay.
He stands aside so that you can clean the pig.
Poor piggy.
So you have to make a survival roll to clean the piggy. Or oinkers. Little piglets don't survive long in my games, apparently.
No, evidently not.
Yes. So, you very skillfully kill and clean and prepare the pig. As you go to cut it with the knife initially, it gives you this sad little look like, what?
Oh no, Jeanette, please.
And then you do kill the pig for the supper. And Fish Guts helps you. Once again, because he's sober, you see the skill and the man that, this Fish Guts once was somewhere in his life, the very accomplished chef that he was at some point before whatever led him to a life on a ship. Who knows what brought him here?
So, question. I have a racial called Cunning Artisan, where during a short rest, I can harvest bone or hide from a slain beast and such.
Create a sock puppet.
Would I be able to make more darts out of pig bones? I know I've done it before.
Yeah, I would say yes.
Okay. Then I'm able to make 3 more darts.
Nice.
A little piggy bone.
Little piglet rib bones.
Got it.
Nice. So yes, you do manage to make yourself a handful more darts. Kind of in the time when Fish Guts is really into the cooking and you can stand back and sort of watch, you can do that. Yes, very weird but useful, as Gen says. But yes, you and Fish Guts very productively work on this meal. Meanwhile, out in the hold area, out in the mid-deck, Jack comes back. He has laid out all of the biscuits up to the captain's door, and he's like, "What do we do now, Mary?"
Did you put it right against the captain's door?
Yeah, like right where the seam is under the door.
And the door didn't shock you?
Well, I didn't touch the door. I just put it right, it's like right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What should I go move it? Did I do it bad?
No, you're fine. You're fine. So now we just wait.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to sit over here at this other corner with this rope in your hands, and I'll sit over at the other corner. And when we get enough rats on the big clump that's in the middle of the hammock, we're going to pull both sides up.
Okay.
And trap them.
Okay.
So now we just sit and wait.
All right. So, for you all sitting and waiting, I need you to decide. You can make either a stealth, survival, or dexterity check, and Jack will pick one as well.
Oh, let's see. Stealth, dexterity, or survival.
And, Jack's going for stealth. Nope.
I guess I'll go for stealth, but I'm at disadvantage, so...
Oh, yeah. So,
no good.
Nope. So between the two of you, every time you're kind of quiet, Jack is making noise, and vice versa. And the day goes by, and you don't get any bites for your net. They never materialize. Maybe most of the rats drown in the storm, or you're both way too noisy to have them come out and see what's going on. Jack's like, is this how it's supposed to happen?
I guess so. Maybe all the rats got washed overboard. Doesn't look like there are many to be had today.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I may just be screwing it up. I'm not very good at this kind of stuff.
But it's nice and relaxing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's not bad.
No danger of falling overboard. Nobody here watching us.
Yeah. Smells pretty good down here now, though. What do you think they're making for dinner in there?
Smells like pig.
Oh, no. Did he? But he took the... Oh, that's sad. I like the pigs.
Well, it's all good. It's for a good cause. It's for dinner.
I suppose so. I mean, we never get to have, pig. We usually have, some kind of stew, fish stew or turtle stew or just biscuits. Because
it might be pig stew. Because they got to feed everybody with that little pig.
That's true. That's true. Could be. You're right. Yeah, so... I mean, I guess we just, I don't know. They're probably going to make us do this again tomorrow, aren't they?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, it's kind of... I guess we could take a nap or something? I mean, I'm tired.
I've got no problems with taking a nap.
Yeah, you slept pretty good in the ropes that day, right?
I did.
Yeah. I mean... I don't know. And then...
You slept pretty good the day before.
Yeah, well, the ropes are pretty comfortable if you can set everything up right and nobody can see you. And I like it, if I can get away with it every once in a while. That's usually my go-to.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got plenty of hiding spots down here.
And as you say that, you hear the ship's bell again from up above as it's come to the dinner hour at this moment.
Well, Jack, it's time to quit for the day and go get dinner now.
What do we tell him about not catching any rats?
We'll just say that we looked far and wide and didn't find any, which is a good thing.
All right, so I'll let you tell him.
Sure.
Okay. Should we pick up, the food crumbs and stuff?
Leave them there.
Okay. All right, yeah, sure. What?
I will clean up the hammock, though, and get it out of the way.
All right, as you're doing that, so Bart, you also hear the bell inside the kitchen, and Fishguts is setting you up with a pot of stew to take up to the crew.
Got it.
As he's sort of organizing the tray full of food prepared for the captain's meal. And he says, I'm going to take this up to the captain's cabin. You take up the food for the meal. Oh, here. And he brings over and slogs the rum over your shoulder. There you go. Yeah, you need... he puts takes a bag, he puts bowls and the cups for the rum in a bag, and he puts it over your other shoulder.
All right. I think I can carry all this.
Are we forgetting? Oh, wait. And he goes and he gets the bag with the biscuits, and he walks over and he, looks around, and then he puts it in your mouth.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, too.
And he's like, all right, there you go.
All right. I hear got good.
Mm-hmm. So he picks up the tray and waddles toward the door and kind of uses his butt to push open the door. So, Miri, as you and Jack are tidying up the hammock, you see Fishguts come out, tray in hand, and he turns and goes up the stairs toward the captain's cabin. And coming out behind him, you see Bart, both shoulders occupied, arms occupied, and has got a bag in his mouth, walking out of the galley.
I'll walk over to grab the one that he's holding in his mouth and put it on my shoulders and help him carry it.
Oh, thank you, Mary. I appreciate it.
Jack sort of wanders over. Can I take something for you?
Oh, all right. I mean, I won't say no.
Or he'll reach for the pot, and he takes the pot out of your hands. I got this.
Give him one of the bags, and I'll take the pot back. Probably the bag with the bowls and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He takes it. Yeah. He slings it over his shoulder. All right. Thank you. Yeah. What's for dinner? I smelled
stew and biscuits.
What kind of stew?
I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, I thought it might be Miri said it might be the pig stew.
It might be.
Oh.
There might be some pork stock in there. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I'm sure it'll be fine.
All right.
It's unfortunate that we don't get the same meal as Captain Harrigan, but just the way it is, I suppose.
Wait, why? What are they having?
Oh, pig.
Oh, really? They get something other than what we get? Because I thought everybody just ate the same thing.
No, they don't.
Well,
Captain Harrigan has been eating very nicely the past couple weeks. He's had a celebration, every other day?
Oh, what's he celebrating today?
I'd get a guess, not sinking, but, this is probably the one that makes the most sense from the ones that I've seen. So.
Okay, that's fair.
Who knows?
All right, sure, yeah. I mean, I wonder how we get it. I guess you have to be a ship's officer to get it on the good food, huh?
Well, depends on the ship. Depends on the ship.
Okay.
On a very good ship, everyone gets very good meals,
So this isn't a very good ship.
Well, I'll put it this way, Jack, and I'll put an arm around his shoulders, and I'll say, our esteemed cook, Mr. Fishguts, called this ship poison when I first talked to him. So, take that for what you will.
I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking knowing the guy that makes our food talking about poison.
Well, trust me, he's a good chef. I don't think he's going to poison you.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a metaphor as opposed to literal.
Well, because, I survived drowning. I don't know if I survived being poisoned.
I've never been poisoned before, so I don't know either.
Okay, so something to avoid then.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm working on holding my breath for longer. Miri says that you can, breathe on... It's a thing. It's because you're, like you are. But I can improve, right?
Yes, of course. I don't know what Miri means. But...
Oh, I don't know. What do you mean, Miri?
Yeah.
Because Miri says that he can breathe underwater.
That's impressive.
He can breathe water and he can breathe air.
I sometimes feel that way. I can hold my breath so long. It's strange feeling.
But you can't actually breathe. At some point, you would drown too.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What about Antoinette?
I don't know.
I mean, she jumped right in to the water and came after me, and I mean, she's really equipped for the water.
If I remember correctly, she said she lived underwater for a while. So.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I once did the same just from holding my breath for so long. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm ever going to get to live underwater, but it sounds interesting.
Never say never, Jack. Never say never.
Well, I mean...
The world is full of wonders,
Are you threatening to drown him? Is that what's going on? You never know, Jack. You just might get the fishes.
I mean, he also thinks that everything looks good, as far as the food goes. Who knows who food is or what food is, but, food. Bart. Bart. But you make your way during this conversation up onto the deck. And Holt, you are relieved. Conchabar comes scurrying up the ropes and into the crow's nest. Aha!
Hello, Conchabar.
Hello.
How did you sleep?
Oh, I slept very well. It was nice not being completely soaked to the bone overnight.
Right.
And yourself?
Good. Well, it's a hard day's work looking through this glass trying to avoid all the rocks that are in the way of this shallow water, but
yes,
we're still afloat. And
that's good.
I'm happy to be handing this thing back to you. I think you're a better lookout than I am.
Well, yes, I need to be up to par for the night shift tonight, I think. Going to have to take it pretty easy going through here, but...
Yeah, it's going to be rough to see him in the dark.
I'm not worried. I have wonderful, wonderful night vision.
Do you? Oh, that's good.
I was born for this sort of task,
Well, excellent. I don't have any night vision. I'm just a regular human.
Well, you make up for not having night vision in other ways, my friend.
Oh, that's nice.
Of course.
Well, I'm going to get my food.
Yes.
It's been a hard day's work. Good luck.
Get a good night's sleep. You still look a bit out of sorts.
Yeah, it'll be all right. One more night's sleep, and I think I'll be back to fighting fit.
Yes. Well, good then. Take care. Enjoy. I think it's some kind of stew.
Hooray!
Have an extra biscuit on me.
Oh, okay.
And you can scramble back down to the deck as Bart and Miri and Jack come strolling up with the big old pot of stew and the bag of biscuits and all of the fixings for the rum and things like that. As the crew starts to sort of swarm around everyone.
Go over to them. Hello, lads. How was your day?
Uneventful, for the most part.
Oh, that's good.
Very uneventful. Not even the rats would come out.
I figure we killed most of them, right? Last time we did that.
That's what I'm going to tell Master Scourge.
You didn't see any of them?
We searched far and wide, even laid a trap, and not a one came out.
Trap, that's cool.
Probably afraid that they're going to be eaten.
Maybe they're all hiding in the captain's cabin.
Maybe. I hear that rats like that place.
They do.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, the biggest rat on this ship lives there, so.
It's true. Yes.
Oh, I see what you did there. It's not something you want to repeat. where
No.
everyone can hear you.
Usually. Just
They all know it.
friends.
I don't think I've ever said more than 5 words to the captain.
Neither have I.
So I don't really have a sense for what kind of person he is, other than that he's a recluse.
I think I've gotten a sense of who he is just by the people he keeps around in his inner circle.
That's a good point.
I think it
Also,
gives a pretty good
You make
taste
his
of who
meals,
he
don't
is.
you?
A bunch of rats.
I do, but Fish Guts is the one who takes them up to his cabin and all that.
What kind of food does he like? Is he like some giant meat eater, or does he like fancy vegetables, or?
There's usually pork. What kind of actual dishes do we make?
I mean, for the most part, it's a lot of fish.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But unlike just the stew for the crew, a lot of times he gets fried fish, or when you do eat the pigs or things like that. He doesn't get a lot of chicken because it seems as though Fish Guts is not okay with parting with his chickens.
Makes sense.
Because they lay eggs. Yeah, that makes sense.
Not even just that. Fish Guts loves his chickens. He really does love his chickens.
Gonzo the Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But he always seems to get some kind of more refined version of whatever's being made for that day. When you had the turtles, his was a crispy turtle baked in one of the shell type things. Yeah, he's definitely utilizes Fish Guts talents when he can.
Okay.
So he never just eats the regular biscuits and
Yeah, of course.
what you guys eat.
So yes,
So
he's a meat eater.
He doesn't have his own little special food supply. He eats what we eat, but more fancy.
Pretty much, for the most part.
I mean, that's about what I would expect, really. Most captains are going to have a fancier meal than the crew, and
Usually.
if it's not his own private stash, I think that's all right.
I don't know if he has anything stocked away just for himself. I mean, he might.
I'm assuming if he's got loads of booze in his cabin.
I wouldn't doubt that, actually, yes.
Sandara walks up smoking.
Oh, Sandara. Hello.
Evening.
How was your day?
Quiet. I'm mostly fixed some ropes over there this morning and did a little work with the stitchman. Needed an extra set of hands about halfway through the day, but otherwise just uneventful.
Nothing happened with that ghost business?
No.
Oh, that's good. Do you think we're rid of that?
I think that things have maybe calmed down a bit. I don't know if we're rid of it at this point. I may have to do some prayers to Besmara to cleanse the aura on the ship and things like that. Individually talk to some of the crew members and see how they're faring with it. Usually the mindset of the crew, it's infectious as far as these things go. If we can get the morale of everyone up, maybe it will help with settling the spirits.
If everyone's happy, the ghost is happy.
Well, or the ghost just goes to its peaceful rest and leaves us the hell alone.
That doesn't sound like Slippery Seal.
No, it doesn't.
Wouldn't be happy with us being happy.
No, that's
if
true.
anything, we'd have to be miserable for her to be happy and move on.
Or dead.
Yeah, but let's not try that one.
No, that'd be bad. What?
So I will move my hands around and I will turn the water underneath the officers on deck a bright red.
Oh boy.
All right, so you move your hands, and those officers that are still on deck getting ready to go down below. So crossing the deck was Peppery Longfarthing, the wild-haired, wild-eyed ship's officer, and she had been walking with the Stitchman, and she sort of stops and looks down at the deck and is like, You see her kind of like looking at it back and forth. She looks at him and points down, and he looks around, like, not again, what is going on? And you see her kind of like kneel down and put her fingers in the water under her feet and kind of bring her fingers up and like run the water through her fingers.
As she does that, I will dispel the...
She sort of looks around when it goes away. Her eyes sort of slowly looking over one and then another and then another, just kind of,
What, you think one of us is possessed? I don't like that.
That's why we stick around
Spread
Sandara.
out so she can examine me to make sure that I'm not possessed.
She'll walk up when you say that, and she looks really close into Holt's face. She kind of sniffs at
Sorry,
you.
I didn't get a chance to brush my teeth.
She pokes at like your chin and like opens your mouth
Ow.
and looks in your mouth.
Look, that's a bit personal. You are not my dentist.
She puts a finger up. She looks at Bart.
Ma'am.
Her eyes linger on Sandara for an extra beat, and Sandara tips her tricorn, puffs at her pipe. And then she just looks over Miri, looks past to where Antoinette is getting her stew, keeps looking past at Jack. Jack, like, looks away, looks down at the deck, puts a biscuit in his mouth and turns away, kind of fiddling with his scrimshaw. It's like, She walks back up to Bart and looks at you, looks in one eye, moves her head over, looks in the other eye, moves her head back again. Open your mouth.
Oh boy.
She holds up a finger, and her finger lights up, and she like holds it over your mouth and looks inside.
This cavernous thing with rows and rows of teeth.
She like, you see her hand like reach in, and she like pulls something from between one of your teeth. Drops it on the deck. Sandara is standing behind her and looks around her head at you like, and then she just waddles away toward the captain's cabin.
What the hell was that?
Probably clean my teeth better.
The Stitchman like waits for her and holds a door open to the captain's cabin as she scuttles inside, and she waits for him to come in. She looks back out, and then shuts the door.
Goes, Nora, is that normal? What's this happened? Is that normal?
Wow, I haven't had much to do with her since she mostly stays in her little closet / laboratory room where she does. I've poked my head in there once or twice when I went by and the door was open, and there's like things bubbling and smoking, and I don't know what she's getting up to in there, but she's an interesting character.
But to be clear, it's not like a normal way to check for possession is to look inside someone's mouth, right?
Well, I mean, I guess if anything was hiding in there, she'd have seen it, but no, that's not exactly how I would look for something possessed.
Is that what? Like, so it might actually work. Like, you could see the ghost in someone's mouth.
I don't think so, Holt.
They might be hiding in there and they'll go boo when you open your mouth, you know?
I don't know.
Like sort of imagined that it might be like some little guy caught in between your teeth from like very long ago. Be like, I'm stuck in here.
She looks at Bart. She looks at Holt. She looks back at Bart. She says, "Do you not have someone in? You're not still hiding something in there, are you?"
I don't think so. Is there anything in there?
She'll lean up and look. Wow, impressive. No, I don't see anyone hiding in there.
I look over at Jack and I say, "I told you they like the teeth, eh?"
Jack's just like halfway through his roll. He holds up his knife. Like,
I think this curse or ghost or whatever might have the officers on edge. It seems to be drawn to them. So, don't know. I might be a bit spooked.
Maybe it blames them for what happened to it.
Maybe.
That would be my first thought, honestly. Oh well. Well, don't
Wasn't
look.
Slippery Seal real close with the officers?
Oh, well.
She was part of that little gang.
Yeah,
who worked
she
for-
stuck close to Master Scourge, and by sticking close to Master Scourge, it meant that she was in the circle of Mr. Plug. The type. I think that, if you don't have any real talent that will lead to you becoming someone of note, you like to kind of ride on the coattails of someone who maybe can take you along with them.
Oh, I think anyone can be great if they put their mind to it.
Well, I mean, if I had to say, I'm sure Slippery Seal found herself to be great at slicing people's throats and stabbing them in the back, but that skill set only can take an individual so far.
It's not a good skill to have among friends, but it is a skill.
It's true.
If she was in my hometown, with the Thieves Guild, I'm sure she could have found a great job. Reliable work.
I guess it does matter if you go into the right profession.
Mm-hmm.
Certain skill sets.
Even here on a pirate ship, that skill could be useful.
Oh, well, yes.
Good,
if we were...
Mixed with a little more personability, perhaps.
You don't want to be worried that your crewmate's going to cut your throat when you're sleeping. No.
Yeah, that's not fun.
No, definitely not. So, yes, Walter, Cat is off for today. So Antoinette is off making trouble on deck out of sight.
Of course.
As usual.
So, how many of the officers are still on deck?
It looked like Peppery and the Stitchman were the only two kind of left. The others, as soon as the bell rang, had made their way into the captain's cabin.
Okay.
So the only one on deck is Master Scourge, as far as anyone of higher rank goes, because he's Master at Arms in the bosun, and second to Mr. Plug. So he kind of sticks around to watch over nighttime activities.
So I am going to cast Sleep on the captain's cabin.
Oh, interesting.
Can you do that? Does that work?
Interesting.
It says within 20 feet of a point I choose.
Oh.
So it's not blocked by walls.
Very interesting.
Does not seem to.
Oh.
And you gotta roll hit points for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. This is very interesting. Okay.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, you don't have to see it. Wow.
Ooh.
It's 5d8.
Very good. Okay.
Interesting.
23 hit points worth. Whoever has the lowest number of hit points in there.
All
They're
right.
gonna be their dinner, and then suddenly someone just goes.
Yep.
All right.
That's
so,
the idea.
Let's see. How many hit points does Mr. Plug have? Mr. Plug. All right. So he's still weak. All right. So so you can't see inside, so you're not sure exactly who
What's going on?
goes down. But what do you do after you cast it?
I just keep eating my dinner and just kind of watch and see what happens.
All right. So you cast your sleep spell, and you're not really sure if anything. No one comes out from inside the cabin after you cast it. And you don't really hear too much from behind closed doors, though they are very solid doors that divide the captain's cabin from the rest of the ship for privacy and whatnot. But meanwhile, everyone else on deck who is finishing up dinner is starting to break away. For some of them are just leaving to go below decks to go to bed. It's been a long, couple days. But others are kind of collecting together to sort of get some games and things like that going. This evening, you see a couple of them setting up to play that the Hog Lob game, where they've got that lead ingot greased and covered in a piglet skin. And basically, you see them starting to practice lobbing it across the deck as far as they can throw it. And they're kind of pooling their gold and starting to take bets. And a couple of people are kind of getting together. Looks like they're going to do some of that arm wrestling, but they've got the top of the barrel where they're setting it up with some broken glass and some caltrops and things on top and getting it ready.
Yeah, I'll go over there. Come on, you lot. Just don't with the glass and the caltrops. That's just a bad idea. You need your hands to work.
Jaundice, the big half-orc, is standing there and he looks down at you and he points at the barrel and he points at you and he points at himself.
You want me to lift the barrel? Can you not do it?
He points at himself. He holds up his hand and then he points at you.
You want to arm wrestle? That's fine, but without the glass and the caltrops. This is stupid. I don't want you to get hurt, and you don't want me to get hurt either, because I've got stuff to do in the flipping rigging, and it's important.
He cocks an eyebrow at you when you say about not getting hurt. And
right?
He waddles to the barrel and puts his arm down, like elbow first down, and doesn't move any of the caltrops or glass off the top of the barrel.
I'll clear it. Fine. I don't mind. And I start clearing away the glass and the caltrops and all that bullshit.
Mahim, the ever-scowling, large human man who sort of keeps to himself for the most part in this group, says, "What are you scared of? A few cuts to your hand. If you don't lose, you won't get cut."
Right, but if I do lose, I do get cut. And if I win, he gets cut. And I don't want that either.
It's a risk he's willing to take, and it just is incentive to not lose.
I have enough incentive to, like, we're betting gold on this, right? Isn't that what we're doing?
I mean, I plan on betting gold on him.
There you go. Good. I'll bet, what is it, 2 gold on myself.
Oh.
Is that fair? Do you have 2 gold, Jaundice?
Jaundice points at Mahim, and Mahim's like, "I'll cover Jaundice."
All right.
Are you sure you don't want to up the ante? If you're willing to play with the caltrops and the glass, I'll bet you 6 gold.
He seems pretty strong.
Oh, he's very strong. But don't you have confidence in your own skills?
We'll see how this goes first.
Oh, come now. Don't be afraid there. Show your mettle.
My metal? I've got my helmet in my quarters. I don't have any metal on me.
Sure. Fine then, just 2 gold and no glass and no caltrops. Don't want to hurt ourselves, no.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Because we're not stupid.
Fine. Well, I'll cover his bet, and I'm going to bet. Let's see. I'll make the pot interesting. I bet 4 gold to that Jaundice here is going to defeat you. And Narwhal says from where he's sitting on a crate nearby, I'll take that bet right now. I
don't know if you want to bet on me, Narwhal. He is pretty strong.
Oh, come on now. If I lose my gold, it'll just make me angry at you.
Right, and I don't want that either.
More incentive for you to win.
We're gonna see.
You don't win, I guess you'll owe me, then won't you?
I don't think that's how that works.
You see Jaundice flexing his fingers.
See, he's done this before. I'm not a champion at arm wrestling.
He smiles a big toothy grin.
I'm mostly just doing this for fun.
It's actually disturbing because Jaundice generally just has a scowl, and he smiles a big toothy grin. And Mahim's like, "Oh, he's excited for this one. This'll be good."
I'm glad you're happy. All right, let's just do this before anyone else starts betting stuff I don't have.
How about you two? Do you two want in? And he points at Miri and Bart. Do you want?
I'll bet 1 on Holt. 1 gold.
1 gold.
Yeah.
I'll bet 2 gold on Holt.
Oh, look! See, even your friends have confidence in you, Holt.
Yeah, I don't. Have you seen the size of this guy's arms?
Oh yes,
it's massive.
I see him.
Very solid fellow, this Jaundice, our friend. Yes. All
yes.
right. Well, might as well. There you go, Holt. Take your place. Jaundice,
Right, like, don't immediately rip my arm off or something. Like, let's start a bit slow.
So
That's the confidence I like to see.
Jaundice leans in, big toothy grin, smiling happily, and he leans forward and just cups his hand around yours in this big, meaty palm, and is looking at you. And you're both going to have to make opposed athletics checks.
Yeah. So I've now told him to go slow at first. I'm going to go immediately all out.
All right.
Excellent.
All right. So he will roll, and you will roll.
So just to have some kind of strategy.
Fair.
All right. Strength roll. Are we rolling strength?
Athletics.
Athletics.
And you're still at disadvantage, right?
Well, it doesn't make that much difference.
Truth.
I rolled nearly this. Ooh, I won that one.
So you go full out, and he does for a second, like he's smiling, he's distracted by all the attention, and you get his hand like way over, like and he looks surprised in this moment, and grunts and tries to push back to stop you from putting his hand down to the top of the barrel. So go ahead and roll.
Almost got you. I've almost got you. Oh, you fell for that one.
Oh, Lord.
Let's go ahead and roll another athletics check.
He wouldn't happen to be exhausted, would he?
The big guy is, he doesn't appear to be exhausted. Alright, so he brings it back up to center, like...
Oh, I knew this would happen. Oh, fuck.
And then he tries to push the momentum and push you further over. So another athletics check. Ooh.
All right, so, Jeanette?
Yes.
I am going to utilize my sleep spell again and cast it such that the Holt opponent is in the sleep spell, but Holt is not.
Okay.
Okay.
Would Jaundice's friends be in the sleep spell too, then?
They are kind of hanging around him, yes.
That seems hard. I could just use the advantage thing that I have to win this.
Good point. That's a good point.
So, Miri, you are standing and there's an audience. So if you do want to roll me like a stealth or a sleight of hand to do this without the audience catching on to you.
Sure.
Would he have an advantage?
I would give him advantage because everybody's watching the fight. Okay. So it would be
straight roll.
Yes. Oh no!
Oh boy!
Yep.
All right, so
Ooh.
11 hit. All right.
Maybe you want to use your natural 20 for this?
Yeah, I think I will use my natural 20.
Okay.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I don't mind that one. All right, so you very you're confident for just a second, and then you maybe slip a little behind Jack Scrimshaw, who's moved up to watch more closely, and kind of cover up what you're doing. Only Jack hears maybe you whisper, and just out of the corner of his eye, catches your move at all. So Holt, Jaundice gets you back up to center. He tries to push over and keep going, but you manage to push him back down almost to the top of the barrel. And all of a sudden, you slam his hand down on the barrel. He just goes limp as you slam. And the rest of you watch as it looks like Holt just tosses Jaundice sideways and over. And Jaundice goes ass over tea kettle. And the barrel kind of tips sideways. And Jaundice just hits the deck. And
which would wake him up.
Yes, he cracks his head on the deck and whoa!
And, oh my god.
Dang.
Are you alright?
The group that was standing...
You're so strong!
Yeah.
Yeah, the group that was standing around Jaundice, kind of backed away, as he went flying. So, Holt, you're just left standing, looking down
I go over to check on Jaundice.
He blinks as he sort of rolls onto his back and looks up at you and, confused, just completely confused expression on his face.
You just
slack-jawed.
Suddenly, collapsed. Are you alright?
He rolls...
Do you need to go see the medic?
he rolls over onto his chest and like pushes himself into a like up, and then gets up on his feet and looks around.
I thought you had me there. What happened?
He turns and like walks away, never responding. And Miriam's like, Mahim is like looking and is like, well,
It seems Halt is the winner, ladies and gentlemen.
apparently.
Was that fair? I was like looking down. I didn't really see what was happening.
Yeah, clearly.
Did he like have some kind of seizure or something?
I don't think so. Looks like you just tossed him.
Jack,
You were
Impressive.
just so powerful, Holt. You just threw him down.
I didn't know you had it in you.
Jack is like, no, you just totally threw him off his balance there, Holt. Like, I think that was totally just, he didn't have anything for you in that last little push there. Good job.
Must have been exhausted then. It's probably just a fatigue from all the hard work.
Narwhal walks up to Mahim and holds out his hand for his gold. Takes his gold pieces, puts them in his pocket, looks over at Holt. He actually smiles at you, and he says, well, I guess for tonight, you and I are on even ground, friend.
That's good. I do like having friends. Did you see what happened?
Well, I got my gold, so I saw you win the fight.
Right. I go over to the other guy. Did you see what happened? Were you watching him?
He looked like he passed out.
Really?
Maybe he overexerted himself.
I was going to say, he must have been giving it his all, you know?
We've all been working real hard these last few days.
Never seen jaundice go down like that.
Yeah, I thought he had me there, but I guess I did win. So you owe me some gold, right? 2, was it?
He hands you gold.
Thanks.
Then he gives Bart his 2 gold.
Nice.
He gives Miri 4 gold. He looks down into his much emptier gold purse.
We'll try this again when Jonas is feeling a bit better. He's had a chance to sleep.
Indeed.
And I've had a chance to sleep.
Yeah, no more arm wrestling for tonight. Forget it. And he walks away.
I make sure to toss all the shards overboard so they can't do it again. I keep the caltrops because those are actually useful.
Nice, yeah. So you get there's probably about 8 caltrops on top of the barrel. You can collect them, put in a pouch.
I think they're about this big, caltrops.
They're mini caltrops.
The tiny ones, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Are they like gaming caltrops?
Maybe somebody made them special for this game.
That'd be awesome.
Right?
All right, I'll collect those. I'll find a little pouch to put them in or something.
Excellent.
And I have a new item. Yay. Caltrops.
Sounds good. So, those that were participating in, or waiting to participate in the arm wrestling sort of slink off to kind of watch the rest of the pigskin tossing and along the deck. Narwhal goes and sits with Mahim, who is grumbling audibly to Narwhal about the Jaundice's collapse and his now lack of gold in his purse, and you can see he's very disappointed by this. You can see Phipps Chumlet, the kind of a husky human who usually hangs with them, sort of, patting him on the shoulder, kind of whispering in his ear, calming him down a little bit. But otherwise, things kind of take, a little bit of a lull, get quiet as the evening goes on. And people slowly start to sort of head off to bed for the night. What are you all going to do?
I'm pretty dang tired, so I'm going to hang up my hammock and crawl into bed with my extra 4 gold.
Yeah.
I'm
going to say I'm going to cuddle with my gold purse.
Yeah.
Always good. So you all head off to bed. It looks like Antoinette headed off a little early. She's probably still a bit worn out from her heroics from the day before. So you head off to sleep, and it's a pretty quiet night. You all wake the next morning. The bell rings upstairs, which obviously starts getting everybody up and about. But you also all notice, for the first time since you've been on the ship, you don't think you're moving.
Oh.
The ship's moving with the waves, but it seems like maybe you've dropped anchor or something.
Interesting. Okay.
That's weird. Let's find out what's up.
Must be a special day.
So, does everybody quickly head up to the deck to see what's going on?
Yeah.
All right.
Especially.
All right, so you head up on deck, and as soon as you kind of break out into the open air through the door, the rain has cleared up completely. The sun is coming up. It's nice, warm but comfortable, like day. It looks like it's going to be really, really nice out. Looking around, you do see that you are indeed kind of anchored. You're not really near any like land areas, but looking left and right over the ship, you can see various sandbars within a couple 100 feet of the ship. And Master Scourge and Mr. Plug are already moving about, kind of assigning tasks to individuals. Mr. Plug sort of walks along, and he looks around, and he kind of points at Jack Scrimshaw, motions for him to come over. He looks over, points at Bart, motions for him to come over. Points at Holt and Miri as they come through the door, and motions you over as well.
What's going on, sir?
Well, he points out about 200 feet off the port side. You see one of these sandbars, and he says, "There's a reef over there."
Oh.
And the captain has decided he wants some fresh crab meat for supper tonight. So,
He wants to go hunting.
I do. You four, I'm gonna send off there, and you need to bring back some crab for the evening
I
meal.
can do that.
You know
No
how to hunt
sweat,
crabs,
sir.
right, Bart?
Yeah. Catch turtles, catch fish, catch crabs, all the same.
What about you, Jack? Have you ever done this?
No, I've never had to do this before. Something new again, I guess.
Looks
to
like
put
you're in
that,
charge, Bart.
Breathing training to the test.
Oh, yeah, I've been working really hard since yesterday. I haven't improved yet, but I'm trying.
Wait, do we have to dive to get the crabs? They don't just, crawl up on the sand? I figured it'd be just, picking them up. Is that not how that works?
Oh, that's the hard way to do it, Holt. I'm a fisherman at heart, and I look
That's
around
true.
to see if there are any fishing nets or any of those things.
Yeah, do we have pots and stuff?
Yes, you do actually have some nets and crab pots stacked
Nice,
with
okay.
the fishing gear, Bart, you would have seen when you had to go turtle hunting and fishing.
All right.
So you can point that out to
grab
the...
that stuff and get to it.
All right, so Jack's like, I'm gonna take all of y'all's lead on this, okay?
Got it.
Yeah, great, because I'm totally new at this. But this should be it's something new, right? So we're going for a swim, huh? At least it's a swim that I'm planning to go for this time. Right?
How about we look for sharks and such
Ooh.
before we jump in the water?
All right.
I don't think Bart has to worry about that.
I'm not afraid of any sharks.
All right.
Right, but I am. So I'm going to
I
have
am
a quick
too.
look to see if there are any sharks.
Go ahead. Make a perception check. Jack is also going to. Actually, Jack will help you, so you have advantage on your perception check.
Nice.
Excellent.
Nice.
Well,
So Jack and Holt,
Advantage.
both looking over the side of the ship, looking. Neither of you spots any sharks in the water.
as they're looking over the side, you just see Bart jump over the side into the water.
Jack's like,
Well,
that doesn't
there's one.
count, right? Maybe. He's not going to eat us, right, once we're in the water? Like, that's not a thing?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's good.
So I'm
Come
going to
in,
take
the water's fine.
I'm going to take the fishing net and jump in right behind Bart.
Oh. All right.
The rest of the crew had this boat prepared, and like,
I was gonna
I guess you don't need this.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, you look around and there's not a boat prepared.
Oh, okay. Well,
Jack's like, I guess I'm not jumping. I'm going to climb down the ladder off the side of the ship.
There's a ladder. It's much smarter.
Yeah, I'm going to go that way. So Jack scurries down the rope ladder that's hung over the side of the ship and sort of drops into the water.
I'll do the same.
And you can, those of you who don't have a swim speed can make an athletics check to swim toward the sandbar and reef area that Mr. Plug has pointed out. Yeah. So Holt is very good at this. Let's see. How's Jack doing? Yeah, Jack is actually a very good swimmer when he's not fighting storm-infested waters. So you swim across this space and sort of come up on the sandbar near the area where the reef and everything is, with all of your crab pots and things like that. And Jack's like, so we just gotta catch him in here. Like we go over by that reef and swim down and catch him in a pot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay,
I understand
okay,
it.
Yeah. I mean, we want to make this interesting and maybe take some bets on this.
Oh.
I don't know. This might be fun. You know, who catches the first one? Who catches the most?
I thought you said you'd never done this before. Are you hustling us? Are you like some kind of expert?
I'm hoping for beginner's luck.
I lean in and look close at Jack Scrimshaw.
Do you want to make an insight check?
Oh, insider.
Jack Scrimshaw just seems like he's relying on beginner's luck.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, no problem, Jack. I'm sure you'll do great out there.
Do you want me to go first? Should I, just jump in?
I think either I or Miri should go first. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, let's see how it's done.
Okay. Sure.
Show you the ropes.
So I'll take the big fishing net. I will cast it out as a professional fisherman would into the water.
All right. So Miri casts out a net professionally. All right. So when you do this, do me a favor and you can roll either a perception or a survival check to cast it out where you spot some crabs running about.
Okay.
All right, so you look out and you can see maybe about 5 feet underwater in an area of the reef. You see a couple of crabs sort of crawling about. So you cast the net outward toward them, and it sort of goes down and kind of covers up one or two of these crabs that are down there. And you all watch as Miri is deftly pulling the net back. Jack's sort of standing watching intently oh, look at that. That's
nice.
That's fantastic. That's really good.
Hey, not hot at all.
And then
I'll help you grab him and stick him in the bucket.
So, as you're all watching that, Bart, you... Let's see.
Okay. Uh-oh.
So does a 17 hit? No, actually, you didn't see it coming. So does a 23 hit you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So
both of them would. Yeah.
So as you're all paying attention to Miri and casting the net, and Jack's watching intently, and everyone's looking, Bart, you suddenly feel this sharp pinch, and you take 7 piercing damage from this sharp pinch that you feel, and you are suddenly clawed onto, and you look down and see this strange crab-like creature just sort of clawing onto you and holding on. Let's see.
I've seen a reef claw art before. They're terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they are very terrifying.
Let me see if I can find it.
And when that happens, also Holt.
Oh no.
So 22 hits you, Holt.
Of course it does.
Yes. So you also are surprised as another one has come up on the other side of your little group and claws. And you are also grabbed onto by this claw of this strange crab-like creature. And I need you all to roll initiatives. As Jack is like, ah! What the hell are those?
Oh.
Oh, no.
Practice. Initiative. There we go.
All right. And Bart got a 14 as well.
I have +3 on my dex.
Dear Jack Scrimshaw, how did you do?
Ouch.
Come on, Jack.
Nope. Poor Jack. So, Miri, you tie the reef claws, but I let players go first on a tie against the baddies. So, you turn around, you've got your net, and you hear Holt and Bart react to being clipped by these two clawed creatures, and you turn and see them both just grabbed by these tiny clawed monstrosities.
How big are these things? Are they medium sized?
No, they're not medium. They're like a small aberration. So they're just like the claws are like maybe the biggest parts,
Right.
and they're really just creepy looking.
How many of them are there?
There are currently 2 that you can see. Each of them, one has Bart clawed and one has Hulk clawed.
Ow! Fuck!
Yeah, like that.
So I am going to do sleep on them.
This is a sleep session.
This is a
It
sleep
is.
session.
It's a
All right.
sleepy session.
So you're going to get both Holt, Bart, and the 2 reef claws in the area of the effect?
If I have to, yes.
Yep, because they are all kind of like clumped up together, and it's what, 20 foot?
It's 20 foot.
Yep, so go ahead and roll some hit dice for me. All right, so here's the question. Currently, how many hit points does Bart have?
I have 10.
How many hit points does Holt have?
20.
20. So, all right, let's see. So Bart falls asleep, and the reef claw holding Bart falls asleep. So the 2 of them just slump down onto the dirt and the sand of the sandbar and just collapse, while Holt and his reef claw continue to tango.
Okay?
All right.
And I will move up next to Bart, planning on pulling that reef claw off of him next turn.
Okay. So meanwhile, the reef claw that is on Holt will try to claw you again. So let's see. So I will have him do this. Oof, a 21 to hit Holt.
That'll hit.
All right, so it's 7 points of piercing damage. He's still got a hold of you. Do me a favor and roll me a Constitution saving throw this time.
Okie doke.
Okay,
wow.
good.
Okay.
So you manage to this hurts, but you manage to hang on, and you don't take any further damage from this. So meanwhile, it's going to be Bart's asleep, so that's Bart's turn. Holt, what do you want to do as the reef claw is just?
I'm gonna grab my knife and stab him.
Excellent.
Because I don't have my battle axe. Don't
No,
have my
you don't.
shield. Because why would I?
I know, you're just going crabbing.
Yeah. Don't need full gear for that. So, yay. Don't have that listed as a weapon yet. I really should. I'll roll a hand axe and I'll re-roll the damage.
Cool.
And let's see how this might work when I hit. So, first I have to hit.
It's true. All right, so you run up, or you're right there. You stab, and you stab into the meaty part of this creature.
and I will smite him.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay.
I like it.
Which adds some damage to my stuff. I think it's 2d8 for one.
Ooh.
So that's nice. That's a good bit of damage. So it's 8, and my strength is 5. Is that accurate? Why would it be 5? It's 3. And why?
Super strong.
5 meant to hit. There we go.
Nice. So you stab this reef claw, and it spasms in your arms as its claws sort of like spasm, and it in its death throw, it clips out at you one last time. So it at 18 to hit.
That does hit.
All right, so you take 7 more points of damage as it spasms and its claws just claw at you, and then it just goes limp in your arms, and you can kind of like push it off of you.
Ow! Fucking hell! What's really fun is that the actual dagger damage just does 1 damage. It's all smite.
Yep. All right, so it death frenzies and clips at Holt one last time before its body flops to the ground and dies. And then Jack looks around and he looks at the one lying with Bart, and he looks at Mira and he's like, "Can I stab it?"
Please do.
Yes.
Okay. And he grabs his knife out of his belt and he like jumps on top of it and tries to stab down on top of it. It is unconscious, so I believe
Yeah, it's an auto crit, right?
I believe so. Let's double check. Unconscious. Creature's incapacitated. Can't move. Fails death that attack rolls against it have advantage. Alright, so, and it is an auto crit if he gets him, so he's going to attack him. Yay!
Go, Jack.
Come on, Jack.
Alright, Jack, let's do this. Advantage. Let's see. He will hit him. He almost hits him in an armored spot of its body, but you see at the last minute him course correct and stab down on it. And then he does 5 plus an additional D4. I don't know how to type. So he does 8 points of piercing damage to this creature. Nice. It squeals as it wakes up, because it is not dead yet, but it does look like it's bleeding heavily from the wound he gives it. And he's like, it's still alive! And he kind of backpedals a little bit, but stays within 5 feet. Miri, what do you want to do?
Oh, it's not dead?
Oh, no, it's not dead. It's still alive.
So I'm going, seeing as how I'm standing right next to them, I am going to pull out, my dagger, and I'm going to stab it as well.
Hit it there. I made it bleed right there. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yep, you hit it right where he tells you to hit it.
Okay. What? Where?
You got
That's
it.
the wrong.
You want to click where it says dagger on your dagger hit, and it will do the damage.
Okay, got it.
There you go.
All right, so you stab as well where Jack stabbed, and it squeals again in pain. It's writhing in pain, but it's still alive, but bleeding now very, very heavily from the wound.
And for my move, I'm going to shake Bart to wake him up.
All right, so Bart, you are lying there, and all of a sudden you're, and like right next to you is this squealing, screeching reef claw right alongside you. Just, and it's bleeding. There's a bunch of blood everywhere. And Jack and Miri are both standing over you, and Holt's a couple steps away, but he's like bloodied.
Next to a dead one, and I'm ripped to bits.
Yep.
God.
What do you want to do?
Well, I'm immediately going to grab my sword and basically just stab up at this thing, you know?
All right. You stab, and your sword glances off one of the armored parts of its body, and it squeals more loudly in anger, and it attempts to, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Miri is 1, Bart is 2, and Jack is 3. It's gonna attempt to claw at somebody. Bart attempts to claw at you. 13 to hit you.
13 will not hit.
All right, so it tries to claw you. You manage to.
I wanna imagine it like claws down at me, and I like roll out of the way on the sand.
The claw just jabs into the sand, and sand kind of puffs up all around you. Holt, what do you want to do?
Fuck. I hesitate, but then I'll try to move in from behind it and also try to stab it.
All right.
And we're going to hope that I succeed.
You step in from behind it and you stab it.
Regular stab. 6
All right.
damage.
So you stab it. It squeals and it like starts to do that frenzy the other one did. So Miri is a 1, Bart is a 2, Holt is a 3, and Jack is a 4. As its claws randomly shoot out, and Miri, it last death throw in its death frenzy. It claws out at you. An 11 to hit you.
That will hit.
Whoa! Oh my
Ow.
goodness. Alright, so it claws out and it clips right across your chest. Oop, that's my microphone. And you take you take 7 points of piercing damage as it clatters to the dirt and the sand and just flops until it stops moving. And the 4 of you are just left standing looking down at the creatures.
Holy fuck. Is there more of those? I look around, see if there's any more.
Quick.
I don't know, but does this count as crab?
Bart, you would know, and Miri too, that reef claw actually is very good for eating. And 1 reef claw is enough to fill up a whole crab pot, whereas usually you need at least 4 crabs to fill up a crab pot. Okay. And you have 2 dead reef claws here.
Let's take them.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, that was a surprise, but you did well there, Jack. I was asleep for most of it, but I'm sure you did quite well.
I stabbed that one.
On your dagger.
I stabbed that one right there. I stabbed it right in the soft spot right there.
Oh, nicely done, lad. Nicely done.
Yeah.
It did hurt a bit.
I'm okay. And he looks like all of you bleeding, and he looks at himself like, wow, I'm not hurt. That's a first.
It's good. Yeah, you did well.
That was very good, Jack. Very good.
Are you all okay?
It got me pretty good, and I wipe away the blood, and as I do, I heal myself for 10 hit points. But it doesn't look like it's that bad.
Jack watches. He's like, your wound's just closed.
Well, no, I just wiped the blood off.
But now there's nothing. What was bleeding?
I don't know, this bit, because I still have 4 damage.
Oh. Whoa. Wow. Oh. Whew. Maybe the sun's getting to me.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we can finish up and we should go back to the boat. Wow.
We should at least get these reef claws on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you can quickly collect the crabs that Miri was able to catch in the net, and then within a short time get a handful more and fill up the other crab pots that you brought with you, and head back to the ship.
Do we manage to catch anything besides crab? Like, is there a random fish in there?
In Miri's net, I would say you probably get like 3 or 4 random little fish that have swum into the net that were in the reef.
Maybe we can keep one of those for ourselves, is what I'm thinking.
Do you want to just like put it aside in like a pouch to take back with you?
As well, yeah.
All right.
I communicate the idea. I'll leave the execution of this to the others.
Jack just smiles and he's like, well, Bart works in the galley, so if we brought something back, I mean, it's okay for him to be in there making food, right? So he could cook us something special, right, Bart? You could do that.
Special treat for you.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
Boys did hard work today. I think you deserve it.
Yeah, I think so, too.
We killed 2 reef claws. I think is what I remember these are called.
Mm. So
Indeed they are.
you fill up the pots and you head back to the ship. And Mr. Plug meets you on deck, and he sort of looks in the first 2 crab pots and sees crab and is like, good. He opens the third, and then he opens the fourth, and he looks at you all and he's like,
yeah, we ran into a bit of trouble over there. I'm surprised you didn't see it from the ship.
I wasn't watching.
Oh, all right.
But
yeah, reef claws. They attacked from nowhere. They grabbed us, but we managed to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Nasty little buggers.
As you say that, you hear heavy footsteps, boom, 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 down the steps from the rear deck, and walking toward your little group. And you see, out of your peripheral, you see other members of the crew kind of scuttle back and away.
Oh.
Captain Harrigan comes strolling over to where you're standing. And he looks over Plug's shoulder at the reef claws in the pots. And he looks around at all of you. And he says, that's a good catch. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Mr. Plug, isn't that impressive? And Mr. Plug looks, yes, Captain, that's very impressive. I'm very impressed with their work today. The captain looks at each of you, and he says, Mr. Plug, when these crew members came on board, I'm sure that until they proved themselves, we confiscated any valuable items they may have carried on board. And Mr. Plug nods. As we do, Captain, yes. The quartermaster has taken charge of all of their gear. Captain looks again at the reef claws and smiles, and he looks at Mr. Plug and says, find out what belongs to them and give it back.
Oh, all right.
And he turns and walks back toward the rear of the ship. And Mr. Plug just looks at you all and he says, you can see the quartermaster and tell her what gear belongs to you. And Cutthroat will give it back to you.
Can I, barter for some of that? Because I don't want all of it back.
That's between you and Cutthroat.
I'm
She's
gonna
in charge
kick
of the gear.
That's fun. That's very generous, the captain.
Shut up.
And then Mr. Plug says, cart this down to the galley and go see the quartermaster about your reward. And
Of course, sir.
As you are going to do that, I think that's a good place to stop.
All right, cool.
Victory.
Victory! So next time you will be able to collect your goods from the quartermaster. And you have brought back some delicious food, having taken a little bit of a stroll on a sandbar out in the middle of the ocean.
That was fun.
Just, get off the ship, stretch your legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Stretch your legs. Go for a swim.
Mm-hmm.
Got to use my smite ability. That was fun.
Yeah.
You got surprised by some reef claws. I rolled 23 on their perception, or on their stealth.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, oops. Sorry. So yes, we will come back in 2 weeks for the continuation of our adventure. The crew members, you seem to have done something that actually drew the attention of Captain Harrigan.
Yeah, wow.
Not just stern, angry glares in your direction this time. Things are looking up in the world, my crew. So why don't we go around and do some plugs, and we'll say goodnight. So, Brad, I know you usually don't have too much going on, but what you got? Anything good?
No, I'm just enjoying my time here, enjoying sending everybody to sleep today. It's freaking them out with freaky water. It's all good. Shenanigans do occur, and fun is had.
It is good times. And how about Holt?
Hi, everybody. I'm PaladinHulk. I had a great time today because I got to smite things and I got to have fun arm wrestling. This was good stuff. The only thing is that Cat wasn't here. We'll hopefully fix that next week.
Mm-hmm.
And my usual plug is my Masks game, which is on Friday night, I think. Time zones are weird. which has been going pretty well now. We're getting the hang of the superheroing thing, maybe. Now, if only the rest of the world would agree with us that we're getting the hang of it, that'd be nice.
That's usually the hardest part.
Yep.
Excellent.
And I think that's it.
Very cool. And how about Dylan?
Hi. So hey, on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Jeanette and I are in a game where we're going through. We've gone through Dragon Heist. We did a little bit of Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and now we're doing the Acquisitions Incorporated adventure, Ori of the Wanderer. The last couple sessions have been kind of crazy. My character got her hands cut off for giving a lord a wedgie.
What?
Yeah, he deserved it. Our kobold sorcerer died. Got strength drained by shadows. And then last time, Jeanette's character and her fiance both got aged 40 years by a ghost, and then she teleported away and appeared in front of the beholder crime lord, the Xanathar. So, hey.
Dang.
It should be great. And as I believe me and Jeanette are both going to be gone next time. So we'll see we'll see how that goes in 2 Saturdays from now.
Yay! Indeed. And
Oh, that's a thing.
It is a thing. And other than that, where you can find me, maybe you can also find me on every other Saturday. So it would be 2 weeks from last night on Scotty Hood's channel playing Ghost of Saltmarsh. So I get to do a little piracy myself. And you can find me here every other week playing this game, which I'm loving. And coming soon, I'm going to be running another Old West setting Cthulhu game, either on a Monday or Tuesday every other week. So that's coming up. I'm getting ready to put out call for players. So yay, Cthulhu.
Cthulhu wearing a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
It's awesome. Good time. So, other than that, not
This
much going on.
planet ain't big enough for the both of us. Whoop-ow!
It's always a good adventure when you feed Sasquatch marshmallows. Just ask Dylan, because he did that. It was impressive. So, but yes, so thank you everyone for watching now, whoever watches later on demand, and thank you all for playing. This was fun. Kat, we did miss you very much. Yes. Antoinette will have to get up to her shenanigans next session, because we know that's coming.
She will.
Mm-hmm.
And all of you will get your equipment back to you next time too, because you have impressed Captain Harrigan. Good job, team. A good outcome for the day. And Holt is the master of arm wrestlers at the end of this session. Yeah. So
is that an actual title?
I mean, it is now. I said it.
Yeah.
I'm DM. I get to make those things up, right? That's how this works. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody, and take care of yourselves, and we will see everyone in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.